Hey, what's going on, everybody? For today's video, I just kind of wanted to sit back and do a little bit of soft whispering and just kind of ramble to you guys. If you've been a fan of the channel for any length of time now, you'll know I like to just sit down every once in a while and just ramble about whatever. I typically find that if it's something I would like to hear, it's something that you guys probably would want to hear as well sometimes. And I don't know if you guys are anything like me or not, but I have just been so busy recently that just haven't really had a chance to sit down with friends and kind of talk as much as I'd like to with them. So sometimes I just like to sit down and talk to you guys. And like I said, I typically find that when I'm sort of in a mood like this, that you guys would be as well. So just sit back, relax for a little while, and just kind of forget about your worries, listen to mine, and just, I guess it's one of those things, we just take things, one day at a time. If you're noticing, I sat down last night to record this video. I was trying to get it out, Sunday night, but here we are. And I filmed the whole thing. It was like 30 minutes. It's probably a good thing. I think I got a little too rambly, but I filmed the video, and when I got done with it, typically I normally sit down and I'll record like a 5-second snippet just to make sure the audio sounds good before I go in to film the video. And I filmed this full, it was like a 30-minute video, and at the end I went to upload it onto my computer to start editing it, and when I got in there, it's a nice Zen fountain. I got it from Walmart probably well over 10 years ago now, and it's worked great for me. But with the Blue Yeti microphone, it was way too loud. Actually, I was kind of distanced back from it, and it was still picking up the sounds from the Zen fountain more than my voice. So I tried to salvage the audio, but it was just the amount of editing that would have had to have gone into that was stupid. So I decided to I'll save the footage. You guys can kind of watch the Zen fountain, and then I'll just ramble some new ramblings. I like to just sort of take things very non-serious, especially for things like this. I feel like sometimes when we get overwhelmed, one of the things that, in my opinion, doesn't help is like this over stimulation, in a sense, where I could sit back, I could, get a green screen and film this very high production video, and I could put a lot of effort into it, but I feel like for something like this, I just sort of like a very laid back, there's no script, there's no real production, it's just me and you sitting down and just talking. Like I said, I feel like it comes off more genuine, and it kind of lets my ADHD mind kind of wander around a little bit. one of the things my best friend, when we were in high school, we haven't done it. It's been a little while now, but when we were in high school, we were notorious for, like, I'd either be at his house or he'd be at my house, and it'd be like 11, 12 o'clock, and I'd be like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna go home. So he'd walk me out to my car, or I'd walk him out to his, and next thing I know, the sun would be coming up. Like, we would just have such a random, rambling conversation that would just jump from point to point to point, and before you knew it, hours and hours have passed. The last time we did that was last year, for the 4th of July. I was off of work, he was off of work. So same thing, he was gonna leave at like midnight. We, of course they closed, but there used to be a firework place near us, and my dad would have a couple people from the work over, so it could be a business expense, and we would just get tons of fireworks and just set them off at our yard. And yeah, like I said, he was going to leave, and then we just started talking and talking, and not that either of us peaked in high school. I hate that term so much, but we definitely had a lot of great memories our senior year of just being stupid and skipping class and all that. So occasionally when that stuff gets brought up again, good Lord, we just go down a rabbit hole. We were in junior ROTC together, and I think the thing that helped us out the most is when you think about like junior ROTC kids, you think about like these military wannabes, and my God, I knew so many of those. I had guys that were, they acted like, so I had one guy, it was my senior year, he was a junior, about to be a senior, so wasn't even a senior yet, and they promoted him to the second highest position you could get. So at the end of the year, we all step down, and then the new juniors take over. He was the second highest, and because in his mind he was going, he had a whole year, but when he graduated he was planning on going into the Air Force. So therefore he thought he was in the Air Force, and good Lord, he's like, and he was one of those, like, you better salute me, I'm a junior in high school, and you better put some respect on my name kind of kids. And still to this day, we love laughing about those kinds of kids. Because, like, looking back, like in his instance, he was very overweight, so he never went into the military. So all of that sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, like hubris, all of that ego just went out the window after high school. And it's funny kind of looking back where people ended up, or some of the moves they made. But I think what helped me and my friend out was, we were in ROTC, like we had this, I mean, obviously we were a part of it, we understood it, but at the same time, you didn't see me, I know some kids, so, like, one of the things that when you become an officer in the military and in junior ROTC is that the enlisted cadets, if they're outside, have to salute you, just like the real military. And I know some people that would we had this little connector that went outside, just so when you're walking to some of your classes, you could get some fresh air. And I know some people that would purposefully, basically stand out there just so they could get the, younger cadets to salute them. And if they didn't, or if they forgot, or whatever, oh my gosh, there was hell to pay. So, I know a lot of, the tryhards, and I feel like by not trying hard, we got a lot further than them. But it was a lot of fun when we could, we had a really nice fridge in the back of the ROTC room, and just, you could basically skip class anytime you wanted to and go down there and just sort of hang out with the other seniors. So, really it has nothing to do with ROTC, but it gave us a space to skip class and kind of goof off. And sort of, when we came back from winter break my senior year, I got senioritis really bad. I was at that point where I really didn't have to attend any classes. I had great grades all throughout high school, and even the first half of the senior year. So, skipping was highly frowned upon, but at the same time, I'm like, look, I'm a senior. All my friends are going to go. They're either going to go to the military, they're going to go to colleges all across the country. I'm not going to see any of these people probably ever again. And I was right about that. There's a lot of people I did see, but there's a lot of people still to this day. Once we walked across the graduation stage, they went off and they're stationed over in Germany or something, and it'll be a long time before I ever do see them again. And then the problem with that is, so much time has passed, do I even really know them anymore? So the people that I could sit around the table with and, we could call each other names and mess with, joke with, that's not the same person that's out there right now that I haven't seen in so long. So I was very right. I'm not saying I recommend you go skipping classes, but I was very right in my philosophy of, I'm going to graduate. Nothing's going to stop me at this point. So I'd rather spend the last, I think we came back from winter break end of December, beginning of January. So it was the last 4 months I'm going to spend having fun and enjoying this time with my friends. And most people, like I said, ROTC just kind of gave me an outlet. Most people would just, if they weren't in ROTC, just leave. There's a pizza place across the street, or you just go to a friend's house or whatever. But for me, just the ROTC classroom was just a place to skip. And to be honest, they didn't even care if you, so I know every school's different, but if you took and went to your first period class, just the start of it, for a roll call, they would not call home to your parents, and they would count you as present for the whole school day. So on paper, it shows that you skipped all your classes, but in terms of attendance, they counted you. So I eventually did, I think it was April or May, we were a week or two from graduation. I eventually did get caught. Basically I just showed up for the important tests, and there was so much skipping that went on, it wasn't even funny. I eventually did get caught, but at that point the principal was like, dude, your grades look great. I see you're skipping a ton here, but I've never, in the last 4 years, I've never seen you in this office. You've never done anything bad. So he's like, just kind of keep your head down for the next 2 weeks and graduate. And he's like, I'm just going to sweep this under the rug. And I was like, yeah, I get it. If you can't tell, my ADHD brain kind of goes all over the place. And this is sort of what I was saying with my friend. When we go out, we start to have this conversation about one thing, and then whatever we're talking about, like, there's basically a priority structure. What do we want to talk about the most? And, like, as we're talking, if that kind of blends into another conversation, then it does, or we'll kind of reel it back into the prior conversation or whatever. But you sort of see how, man, I could talk for literal hours about things I'm passionate about. And it just, like I said, if you let me, I could film, if I didn't have work in the morning, I could film this 6-hour video talking about everything I love and all the little details about it and whatever. But I really wanted to make this video about just sort of trying to distract you, because if you're anything like me, I'm just so busy right now. I think one of the things, if you've watched my videos, I got hit by a deer last year. This was back in February of 2023, so we're coming up on 2 years ago now. And I have some time, but basically when I'm not working, like being a business owner, you're constantly in some kind of work mode. Like I'm constantly doing something for the business in the sense of what needs to be like reordered, what bills need to be paid, is there events coming on, there's so much to constantly think about that when I get the chance to, I just want to come home, turn on the PlayStation, and just forget about everything. And then, like videos like this, like my ASMR channel, and just things like the car, and all my life stuff just gets so far behind. Like I said, it's almost embarrassing that it's been 2 years and my car's still got a big dent in it. But I just have like no motivation when I'm off to go do anything to kind of progress these things that have been stacking up. I work Tuesday through Saturday. It's 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So during the weekdays, I get off at 7, drive home, eat, and hopefully that car wasn't too loud, but by the time I eat and, get unwind and everything, it's 8 o'clock. So obviously I'm not going to be calling around at 8 o'clock at night about, who can fix a car fender or who can paint, and I'm not doing that. I'm just going to sit back, watch some YouTube, play some video games, and unwind. So then that leaves basically my Sunday and my Monday. Well, Sunday, everywhere's closed. It's, that's your normal rest day for people. So it really leaves me with my Mondays are my only day to do anything. And again, when you're looking at, more work ahead of you, I just want to relax on my Monday. So then it's just this never-ending cycle of, I keep taking it day by day, and then, months pass, and it's crazy. Just absolutely crazy, like, just how fast time's moving. And you look at the day-to-day, and things don't really change. It's, like at the shop, I'll get a batch of guns in, like typically once a week, maybe twice a week. You open it up, you put them in the cabinets, or you put them on the wall, and nothing really changes. But then when you look back, you're like, man, a whole year's basically passed at this point. And January 4th will be a year for me. And it's so crazy to me how like so much has happened in this last year, and then nothing's happened at all. Like for the shop, And for the business side of things, a lot has happened. It's doing great. You know, that's all fine and dandy. But then I'm dumping so much of my time into that, like, for my personal life, nothing's progressed at all. And it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Like, all the things I want to get done, all the things I need to get done, and then you just have no motivation to do it. Like, I don't know. Typically, like I said, I feel like if I feel this way, then other people probably feel this way too, but life is just so busy right now. Ideally for me, the problem is the shop's like in a weird spot where I don't want to take much from it. I need to take a little bit to, survive, but I don't want to take much from it because I want to see it grow and continue to grow. And basically I just have to keep taking it week by week and just keep growing it, but until I get to a point where I could hire an employee to be there. Like, I haven't had a Saturday off in the last year, and the problem with that is typically all the cool, like, fun stuff happens on Saturdays. Like all the, just anything, concerts, or I love to go up to, there's a Formula Drift event, where you just see a bunch of cars drifting around a track. It's a lot of fun. And I've gone to it for the last, 3 or 4 years straight, but I missed it this year because I'm working. So it's one of those things, I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. And it sucks, but I feel like you just gotta stay the course and keep it going kind of thing. But it is what it is kind of thing, Well, I think that's probably enough rambling. If you like sort of this is very older style video for me to make, but I certainly love sitting down and just talking. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this. I'm trying to motivate myself to film a little bit more content for you guys. Like I said, just being so busy, I just want to come home most days and just put my head on a pillow and relax. But I don't know. I'm trying to motivate myself a little more for you guys. But if there's any video ideas you have, let me know. Any role plays or anything, just put it in the comments. I try to read all the comments. Sometimes a video idea sounds good, but then when I actually start to film it, I'm like, this is a 5-minute long video max, so I never put it out. But yeah, just shoot your ideas, and I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.